Hey friends! Welcome back to the channel. If you're aiming to crush that network security engineer interview, especially one focused on Palo Alto Networks, then buckle up. Today, I'm walking you through the top 20 Palo Alto interview questions, answered in detail, like you've never seen before. We're talking practical examples, real-world scenarios, and technical clarity. Let's get into it. In Palo Alto, a security zone is a logical grouping of interfaces. Think of zones like walls in your house. Each room has a purpose and needs rules on what can go in and out. Traffic must go from one zone to another to be inspected. For example, you might have a trust zone for internal users and an untrust zone for internet-facing interfaces. A typical rule would be allow HTTP from trust to untrust, but deny all traffic from untrust to trust unless explicitly allowed. A virtual router is a routing table instance. It's like having multiple GPS systems that operate independently. You assign interfaces to a virtual router and it manages the routing. On the other hand, a virtual system is a complete firewall instance. Think of it as virtualization for firewalls. Each system can have its own policy, zones, routing, and admins. This is ideal in MSSP environments or large enterprises. App ID is Palo Alto's crown jewel. Instead of just filtering based on ports, it identifies applications regardless of the port used. For example, if someone tries to use Skype over port 80, App ID will still detect it as Skype. It does this in stages: initial packet classification based on port, application signatures by checking the payload, and heuristics with behavioral analysis. This gives you laser precision over traffic control. Content ID is Palo Alto's threat prevention engine. It combines multiple security functions: antivirus, anti-spyware, URL filtering, file blocking, and DLP. Imagine Content ID as the bouncer at the door, checking every single bag for threats. You can block viruses, restrict file downloads, and even control data leakage, like blocking social security numbers in outbound emails. User ID maps IP addresses to usernames. So instead of saying block 10.1.1.23, you can say block John Doe from using Dropbox. Palo Alto pulls this data from sources like Active Directory Exchange or even syslogs. It's critical for role-based access policies. Security policies control who can talk to whom: source, destination, app, action. NAT policies translate IPs or ports, like hiding internal IPs behind a public one. Security rules are like saying John can enter the building. And NAT is like John wears a badge with a different name outside. Both work together. There are 4 types of NAT. Source NAT, which hides internal IPs. Destination NAT, which translates public IP to internal IP, for example, web servers. Static NAT, which is a one-to-one mapping, and dynamic NAT, which is many-to-one or many-to-few using pools. For example, a web server at 192.168.1.10 can be made publicly accessible at 203.0.113.5 using destination NAT. The management interface is used for administrative tasks, things like GUI, CLI, logging, and PAN-OS updates. It should never be exposed to the internet. Best practice? Put it on an isolated management VLAN with ACLs in place. HAY, or high availability, ensures uptime. 2 firewalls are configured as active-passive or active-active. They share session tables, configuration, and routing info. If the active firewall fails, the passive takes over with minimal disruption. HA links like Control Link, Data Link, and HA1 or HA2 handle the synchronization. Palo Alto can inspect HTTPS traffic by acting as a man-in-the-middle using an enterprise CA certificate. You import this certificate into users' browsers to avoid warnings. There are 2 modes: SSL forward proxy for outbound internet traffic and SSL inbound inspection for inspecting SSL on internal servers. Caution: always exclude banking and medical sites from decryption. Wildfire is Palo Alto's cloud-based sandbox. It detonates suspicious files in a virtual environment. If a file is malware, it sends updated signatures back to firewalls globally within minutes. It's like giving your firewall X-ray vision for zero-day threats. Panorama is the centralized management solution. Imagine managing 200 firewalls individually. Exhausting, right? With Panorama, you define device groups, templates, policies, and push them out globally. It's a massive time saver. Logs are your best friend. There are several types: traffic logs, what's allowed or denied; threat logs, attacks blocked by Content ID; system logs, device-level alerts; config logs, changes made. You can forward logs to syslog, SNMP, or integrate with SIEMs like Splunk. Zone protection profiles guard against floods, reconnaissance, and spoofing. Think SYN flood or port scans. You attach a zone protection profile to a zone and define thresholds. It's like a riot police shield for your perimeter zones. Shared policies are global rules applied to all firewalls. Device group policies are more specific, applied to a subset based on grouping. You might use shared for corporate-wide compliance rules and device groups for site-specific policies. Security profiles go beyond just allowing traffic. They inspect it. You attach profiles to rules, antivirus, anti-spyware, vulnerability protection, URL filtering, file blocking. It's like letting someone into your house, then frisking them at the door. From the CLI or GUI, define a filter. Start the capture. Analyze with Wireshark, useful for troubleshooting. NAT, drops, and misrouted packets. GlobalProtect is Palo Alto's VPN solution. It creates a secure tunnel for remote users. It can also enforce policies based on posture checks, like AV status or OS version. Plus, you can tie in with SAML for MFA. Sometimes App ID can't identify an app correctly, especially with custom apps. An application override lets you force the firewall to treat traffic as a specific app by matching on port, IP, and protocol. But be careful, it bypasses content inspection. Huge one. Here's what you should do. Lock down the management interface, ACL's IP restrictions. Use role-based access control. Implement logging and log forwarding. Enable threat prevention features. Regular updates of PAN OS and signatures. Use SSL decryption responsibly. Disable unused services like Telnet, HTTP, etc. Security isn't a one-time thing, it's a culture. And there you have it. 20 high-impact Palo Alto questions and answers that will make you the sharpest candidate in the room. If you found this helpful, smash that like button, subscribe for more deep dive content, and drop a comment if you want me to cover lab setups, real interview prep, or firewall demos. Until next time, stay sharp, stay secure.